What could anyone do to deserve this?
These videos are shocking and disturbing.
An inmate in an upstate New York prison punched, kicked, choked. A group of correctional officers caught on body camera taking turns.
He was handcuffed with his hands behind his back.
He died the next day. The Attorney General, FBI, and state police are now on the case, and we now know that some of these officers involved have been accused before of assaulting inmates in the past. I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates. 43-year-old Robert Brooks, he had been serving a 12-year prison sentence for first-degree assault when on December 9, 2024, he was transferred to the Marcy Correctional Facility right near Utica, New York. The whole ordeal, it was caught on Bodycam, but the problem is many of that body camera footage does not have audio because the correctional officers that were wearing them, they did not have them fully activated. They were only in standby mode. Audio or not though, this video is very, very damning. So much so, we want you to take extreme precaution before you watch.
We will use every possible tool available to us to investigate this death thoroughly and swiftly.
Stern words from the Attorney General of New York, Letitia James, days after she released a series of horrific body camera videos. It was just before 9:30 p.m. on December 9th, inmate Robert Brooks, he was walked into the Marcy Correctional Facility. He was handcuffed, then taken to a medical exam room. Words were exchanged between Brooks and several correctional officers. Whatever was said, though, was enough for one of those officers to strike him in the ribcage multiple times. Seconds later, though, it's followed with another series of blows. He squirms around before they forcefully raise him up and strike him again in the ribcage. They exchange more words while the other officers seemingly just watch and talk amongst themselves. There's a nurse present as well. Then things escalate to the extreme. Just about 6 minutes into this confrontation, they lift him up by his neck like a doll. He's then placed against a wall by two officers. Their backs are turned. From here, it's unclear what they're doing to him, but they stood in the same position for at least a minute before he's transferred back to the exam table, lifeless. They begin to remove his clothes. The next day, December 10th, Robert Brooks was dead. As for the cause of death, preliminary findings from a medical examination, they indicate, quote, concern for asphyxia due to compression of the neck, as well as the death being due to actions of another, end quote.
I want to reiterate that we are investigating this case thoroughly and using every tool at our disposal to ensure that there is transparency and accountability for the events that preceded Mr. Brooks's death.
Shock, outrage, and frustration from the AG, who has vowed, along with the FBI, to figure out why. New York Governor Kathy Hochul also joining in a statement saying that she's ordered a full investigation into the death of Brooks and asked for the immediate firing of the 14 people listed here, including the nurse, that were all allegedly involved. 3 of them, we've also learned, have been named in previous federal lawsuits from 2022 accused of either failing to intervene in prison beatings or been accused of assaulting inmates themselves. Now, in that statement, Governor Hochul continued and said, quote, that like all New Yorkers, I was outraged and horrified after seeing footage of the senseless killing of Robert Brooks. Once again, I want to offer my deepest condolences to Mr. Brooks's family and loved ones as they grieve his tragic death. I am grateful to the Attorney General and her team, our state police, and everyone working with us to ensure justice is served in this case, end quote. Again, no charges have been filed just yet. One of those correctional officers has since resigned, and of course, we'll be following up. Any updates, we'll be sure to pass it along to you. For TSR Investigates, I'm Justin Carter. Hello roommates, and thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Do you want more TSR Investigates? Be sure to subscribe and check us out at theshaderoom.com.